How you guys and girls doing today? Black Boy Gamer here, and in this video I'm bringing y'all the top #1 reason why people refuse to switch or change heroes in competitive. Let's do it.
Young Savage, why you trapping so hard? Why these niggas capping so hard? Why you got a 12-car garage? Why you pulling out?
How you guys and girls doing today? Black Boy Gamer here, and like I always say in every video, I appreciate all y'all, and if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and like, as it really helps out. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. So y'all, this is going to be a longer video because I'm only going to give you one reason, and the main reason why people don't switch off is because of the way that you asked. That's right, the way that you asked it. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. People as teenagers, adults, or kids barely listen to what the authoritative figures in their household have to say. What makes you think that you demanding something as an individual online is going to get them to agree with what you have to say? The way you say it dictates the way the person is going to respond. I've been studying a lot of humans' relations lately, and there's one thing that I found out is that humans have a fight or flight tactic. Flight, which means we're going to flee from the thing that's attacking us, or we're going to fight it. Since you can't flee in a game, or you can't leave a game because you're going to get penalized and lose SR, you have to fight and you're going to defend yourself. And if you think about it, that's the only good thing that you can actually do. Now, watch what you say for a rager. I'm talking to the ragers here. Watch what you say and watch the way you say it. Giving suggestive criticism or suggestive opinion versus demanding something is completely different. If you say you should switch, even if you try to say it in a nice way, you say you should switch because, that is nice. Saying you better switch because, that ends the conversation right there. From the moment you said you better switch, you've turned on that person's fight tactic. You've turned on that person's fight instinct. Y'all, I'm trying to tell you, whenever you come at somebody in a way that's going to be threatening to them, they're automatically going to attack you back. And you know why? The reason why they're not going to listen to you is because they see it as a way of submission. They see it as a way of, and that's how I see it. Like if I go into a game and somebody asks me, they say, Tim, or they say, BBG, can you please switch off that character you're using? You're not doing that much damage. Sure, I'm sorry, let me switch. Black Boy G, you better, what are you doing? No, that's an instant. Who do you think you are asking me that kind of question like that? And what makes you think that I'm going to listen to you? That is an instant. That's an instant no. That's an instant make me. That's what that is. That's an instant make me. What are you going to do if I don't? If I barely listen to people in my regular life, what makes you think I'm going to listen to somebody online? And why would I submit to that person? By submitting to that person, you're pretty much saying you win. You're pretty much saying to that person, you're right and I'm wrong. And that's not going to happen online. Don't assume, don't be angry, and don't scream at them. Suggest, say please, thank you. Say sorry if I'm wrong. Say sorry if I'm wrong, but you're not doing that much damage. I would. And matter of fact, it'd be better if you don't even say it like that. Just don't tell them. And another thing, y'all, is do not, and I mean do not, tell them. Don't go into their stats and look at their stats and say, well, with that kind of win rate, no wonder why we're losing. Y'all, the moment you do that, I want you to think about it like this. What would you say if somebody came at you like that? And if you're going to sit here and you're going to say that you would agree with them, or you're going to sit here and you're going to say that you would change, you're lying. The automatic human response, y'all, to defend itself, no matter what you do. So the moment you kind of come at that person and let them know that they're so bad, they're going to say, what about you? What are you doing? Don't do that, y'all. Uplift that person. Say, you're doing a real good job. Do you mind going to this hero real quick? I would appreciate it if you go to this hero so we maybe can pull through. You're countered right now. Do you mind switching off? Let me tell you. Do you mind switching is way better. Do you mind switching says, I appreciate what you're doing. Could you switch to help the team? You better switch, y'all. Who are you? No. Y'all, let me tell you, the way you ask dictates everything. Say it loud and clear, but say it in a nice way, and watch what the difference is going to be in most of your games you go into. Say it in an obnoxious way, and you'll see why. And I know people are going to say, but sometimes they just don't respond and it makes you mad. Y'all, that's not the problem. The problem is if that person's not in group chat, that person just being a troll, all you can do is ignore them. Getting into a fight with them in the first place, even if they're not listening, is not going to help your team at all, because you're going to be so focused and getting mad at him that you're not going to be able to pay attention to the enemy. The enemy team is sitting there coordinating and they're actually talking and communicating. They're going to end up winning. You're going to be salty because of that other player. You're going to be typing. And you know what gets me the most? When people are sitting there typing a paragraph or 3 paragraphs in chat as to why they're losing, I'm like, look at what you're doing. You're taking yourself away from the game. Just think about it for a second. You're sitting there typing. When you're typing, you're not playing. When you're not playing, that means you're AFK. Well, not AFK, that means you're away from the game. If you're away from the game, that means the enemy can kill you. You're easily dead. You're actually taking time out of your day to type about how somebody bad is that bad on your team, instead of actually helping your team win. Y'all, if that person refuses to communicate, ignore them, block them, do whatever you have to do, mute them, do whatever you have to do. But whatever you do, if you ask them to switch and they say no, say that's fine. And don't go into their ranks or don't go into their profile and start judging them by the way their win rate. You never know. The game is so random, y'all. This game is so random. You could be a healer, right? And you could go into a game and have golds one game, and then the next game have absolutely nothing because your team might have had 3 healers, or your other healer was just putting in work and just destroying that game. You just don't have heals. Would you want somebody to sit there and say to you, well, you're not doing your job? No, you wouldn't, because what would you say? Okay, well, I'm just not going to heal you then. Y'all, don't judge a book by its cover. Until you are halfway through the game and the person's clearly not performing the way they should, you should suggest, never demand. Once you demand, it's all over. I'm telling y'all this from experience. I'm telling y'all this from my perspective and from what most people would see it as. If I go into a game and I choose Genji, like y'all all know, the very first thing somebody's going to say to me is, oh, you have a freaking 49-50% win rate. What do you do? The very first thing that comes up to my mind as a human being in general is, I don't even know you. I don't know you. You're assuming I'm going to do bad. And with the game hasn't even started yet and you're talking trash, give me one reason why I shouldn't choose Torbjorn or Symmetra and troll. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's bad thinking. And it is. You shouldn't think that. You should be way more mature. But that's what the human brain does. It's an automatic defense tactic. It's automatic. You're coming for me, so I have to stand my ground and show that I'm just not a little punk who's going to take what you say and switch, because I'm definitely not going to listen to some random person online. But if you come up to me and say, or not even at the beginning of the game, but during the middle of the game, if I'm not doing good, which I know I'm not doing good, but see, my ego or somebody's ego is not going to allow them to drop it until you're nice enough. I could be going 1-30 in a game and have no medals whatsoever. I'll end up switching myself. That's just me though. I end up switching. I won't allow myself to let myself take my team down. But if I'm in a game that somebody's constantly calling me trash, I will go 1-30 and stay on that hero just to see what that person's going to do. Is that bad? Yes. Does that make us lose? Yes. But why did I do it? Because that person came at me that way. And it could have all been avoided if I would have matured up, number one, which is not going to happen to most people because of their mindset. And number two, if that person wouldn't have came at me like that. I'm telling y'all, know when to back down and know when to do things better for your team. If you're being attacked by somebody and they're telling you you're trash, you suck, or look at your win percentage, look at this, look at that, sometimes you just got to man up or woman up and just say, I'm going to switch for the team. Even though, listen, y'all, I know what you're going to say, but if I switch, that means he wins, she wins. You're trying to win for your team at the end of the day. You're trying to win for your team and gain that SR. Don't listen to that person. No matter what you do. So don't listen to that person. Y'all just completely ignore them. Like I said, y'all, watch what you say. Be quiet about it. Suggest, don't demand. A demand is an instant. No, a demand is an instant fight. So you're demanding me. You don't even know me. You're no demand, y'all. Suggest. That's all you got to do. So this is the end of this video, y'all. I just wanted to bring y'all this suggestion, this tip. And as to reasons why I see that people don't switch, I've been having questions asked to me a lot lately is, why people don't switch, and if I ask them to switch nicely, they don't. So then I yell at them and they get even more mad. So no matter what, y'all, do not raise your voice to suggest, not demand, or do not scream, or do not tell somebody their win percentage is bad, because that's an automatic no. Even the pro players, even some YouTubers admit that. They admit that they'll sit there up in the grandmaster ranks and somebody will try to come at them and threaten them, and guess what? And guess what'll happen? Automatic human reflex. Oh, so you want to come for me? I'm Grandmaster, you want to come for me? Look at you, you're Diamond. Automatically, y'all. It's just human nature. It's not gonna end. And I'm telling you, nobody you know is ever gonna say, or nobody you meet is ever nobody online that you ever meet is gonna agree with you and say, oh, he's yelling at me, cussing me out, and dissing me and making me feel less of a person. I'm gonna switch for him. It's not gonna happen. Y'all suggest, don't demand. If you have to switch, y'all, even if that person is being an ass, ignore them, switch for your team, block that person, do whatever you have to do. Watch what you say. Hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Black Boy Gamer, out.
Let's get Wiz Khalifa high, yeah. Get meditated over medicated, get Wiz Khalifa.